Hello and welcome on my channel, Wolf Aqua, your channel about horticulture, aquaponics and aquaculture. So in this episode of Aquaponics My Story, episode number 5, I'm going to show you my experience that I did during my internship at Viridis Aquaponics in California. And what I learned there, what I experienced there, I'm going to show you now in this video. And let's go! In the year 2014, I wanted to do an internship abroad to improve my English skills and to dive deeper into the whole aquaponics world. And what can you do better than doing an internship in a bigger farm? So I applied at several places around the world, and in the end, Viridis Aquaponics accepted me. And they offered at that time kind of a work and travel thing, and I applied and I got a position there. So what I did, I got myself the flight tickets to San Jose, and in August the time came and I went to California to do my internship there. So I arrived at some point in San Jose, and the first thing what happened is I got called out at the airport that I should go to the information desk. So I went there, and what they told me is like, oh sorry man, your luggage didn't made it from Texas to San Jose during your changed flights. It will arrive next week. Oh, nice start. Anyway, I got picked up at the airport from a farm member, and they brought me to the farm. Back then it was already in the middle of the night. Two nice colleagues welcomed me at the farm, and then I went to bed after a very long, exhausting flight. So the whole flight was like 17 hours or so. Anyway, so this was how my room was looking. And the next picture you see is actually from the working hall of the farm. So to this hall, all the other greenhouses were connected, and there all the works happened, like seeding, maintaining, processing the food. So the whole farm was a little bit more than 8 acres. I think 10 acres in total, so also including all the sideways and paths. It was divided in 4 big greenhouses, and 2 greenhouses were already full in production. There, in one greenhouse, they just focused entirely on growing tomatoes, several different heirloom tomato strains, and in the other greenhouse section, was subdivided in many smaller sections. Here was also the fish culture. There they mainly grew like lettuces, herbs like basil or red vein sorrel, but they also grew cucumbers. And the main system they used here for the leafy greens were like a deep float technique, so DFT. Elsewhere you can also read the name raft system or a deep water culture, so it's kind of all describing the same method to grow. But they also grew cucumbers, and the cucumbers were growing in a different system called Dutch buckets or Beto buckets. You hear both names, so I think both terms are correct, and they grew the cucumbers there in a substrate out of a mix from cocoa and clay, and that worked out very well. They also had some chilies and other plants. After a few weeks, I was already fully integrated in the team, and one day I was standing behind the farm looking at the sunset and noticed, wow, that's exactly what I want to do in my life, working on or in a modern way of agriculture technology. My tasks were versatile, and I worked on many different subjects, such as finding the right fish feed, because we had a couple of different fish species living in our systems, and I tried to find the best fish feed for each individual species. Therefore, I got in contact with many American fish feed suppliers and asked for samples, and we got quite some samples, and then we figured out, okay, which feed is the best for each species. The main fish types were goldfish, sturgeon and channel catfish, but they also had some types as bass swimming around. My personal favorite was the catfish, because after the early use stages, cannibalism was not a real problem. I saw fish of an inch swimming together with big fish, and they didn't eat each other. Important to mention that the channel catfish has a way smaller mouth compared, for example, to the European catfish, the Deus glanis, or the African catfish. Next, to take care of the fish, I also helped building up the farm further. Before these greenhouses were turned into an aquaponics farm, they were used to produce rose flowers. Unfortunately, growing roses was not profitable at a certain point, and they closed up the operation. And this is how it looked. So when I came there, quite some compartments were full of dead and dry roses. And during my time, we started to clean out some of those compartments to further expand the vegetable production. For example, here in the section, we cleaned out the roses, and then we started a new crop of cucumbers. Cucumbers themselves got trained upwards to the ceiling, to inside the greenhouse. I think in that picture you see already around about 2,000 beto buckets and 2,000 cucumber plants. So God bless, actually the weather in California, like in August and September, is still very, very, very good. And because of that, you could actually really see the plants growing. Like from the first picture here and to the last picture was just around about 8 weeks, and the cucumber plants became really big in that time already. During my time, I made 2 presentations on my own initiative to show possibilities to further improve the systems. And after a few days, we got the green light from the management to do some changes. And that made me very, very happy. During my internship, I learned a lot about the handling of produce. For example, which plants need cool storage and which ones not. Another thing that I noticed once again is that aquaponics is attracting many interesting people. So it happened that we had the chance to try out some LED lights above our lettuces. All in all, I really enjoyed my time there at Viridis Aquaponics. And here at that point, I really want to say thank you to all the management people and all to my colleagues and staff members that's made that all happen. Thank you so much for having me there during the time in 2014. Another thing that I really liked was to experience the American way of life. How they approach the workforce, how do they do their work, and how do they get work done. So this was the episode number 5 of Aquaponics, my story. It will be super motivating for me if you subscribe my channel and leave me a like. If you have any questions or feedback or recommendations, just post it in the comment section below the video. I will be very happy to see you next time for the 6th episode of Aquaponics, my story. Stay healthy and bye bye.